Hello viewers, thank you for liking my videos. In this vlog, we are going to talk about structures and various departments of advertising agencies. The work of an advertising agency is warmly and immediately human. It deals with the human needs, wants, dreams and hopes. Its product cannot be turned out on an assembly line. Very well put up by Lou Burnett. So let's now have a look at the structure of an advertising agency. Though if you go onto the internet, you'll find different hierarchies and structures of an advertising agency depending on the size of the agency. So here we can see that apart from the head of an advertising agency, that could be a chairman or a general manager or a CEO, there are various departments like client servicing department, creative department, studio head, which also performs the function of, say, a visualizer or a photographer, production department, media department, accounts that basically deals with your financial resources, and the administrative department. So here's another structure of a small advertising agency, again which shows the various departments that are mandatory for functioning of an advertising agency, from client servicing, account planning, creative department, media, production and various others department. So in this slide we are going to talk about some of the major departments of an advertising agency, that is media department, creative department, client servicing department, research department, finance and production department. So let's understand the functions of a client servicing department, often also known as the client servicing executive, account planner, account executive. So all the people, those who work under this department, are known by these names, right? Account executive generally is a link between the clients and the creative department of the agency, right? They are the ones basically who are the face of an agency, right? So check the status of each client's job in the creative department and verify the jobs that will be completed on time, right? It is also his duty to contact each client at least once a day to discuss the current and the upcoming projects, and also to update him about the various other projects that are going on. He's also responsible to initiate the new jobs for the client. His role also involves review and present the concepts, layouts, copy to the client for the approval. Agency would not go ahead without the approval of the client. And also it is the duty of the account planner or the client executive to communicate the client's feedback in case there are certain changes to be done with the creative work. It is his duty to communicate it to the creative department and discuss it for the further campaigns. So let's now discuss about the role of a creative department. First and foremost, the people who create the actual ads form the core of an advertising agency, right? They usually have the copywriters, art directors into the creative team. So their initial work is to generate the creative ideas to represent the proposition, that is the communication message that will be carried out in the campaigns, right? What should be the slogan, what should be the the tagline for the campaign, what should be the major campaign bold theme. And then creative department frequently works with the outside design on the production studios to develop and implement their ideas, right? For example, in case we need to create a TVC, so that could be done only by the production department. So what the creative department do is, if you're outsourcing the production houses, so you work very closely with them, right? And also the creative department may employ the production artist as an entry-level positions, as well as for the operations and maintenance. For example, in case there is a production department in the agency itself, so you employ and you employ the production artist as well. So let's now talk about a creative brief. So creative brief is a briefing that is provided by the client to the client servicing, and the client servicing person further gives and shares it to the creative department. So this creative brief acts as a point of reference for the advertisement designers and facilitates the well-reasoned dialogue between the account executive and the creative cell. This brief is also beneficial for the marketer, right, as it will help them to understand how should the communication be designed for the campaign, right? And for creative, as it also helps to focus on the communication problem, and the account planner has to give a summary of a strategy. Now, what should a creative brief include? The company's name, history, target audience, area of the market, time and duration of the advertising, right? And the creative department should also be briefed about what is the purpose of the campaign. What are the objectives that could be achieved? What are the mediums that are important for the particular campaign, right? What is the creative consideration? What sort of creatives, what sort of colors, what sort of communication should be used? And finally, what is the budget for the advertising campaign? Now let's understand the functions of an art director, which would also come under the creative department. So the art director transforms the idea that a client wants to convey in a simple and a beautiful imaginary, right? Because all the ideas, all the campaigns, all the designs that a creative department or a production house would build would be approved by the client, right? Preparing the layouts and the visuals for the client, to work closely with the copywriters for developing the visual messages, and making the painted bulletins, posters, car cards, illustrations, and slogans, etc. So let's discuss about the functions of a copywriter. Preparing an attractive copy for its client and consumers. To understand what is the copy, you can watch my another video. Participate in the brainstorming sessions and come up with the ideas, using their extraordinary skills of putting the flair and the frequent language by preparing a copy. Now let's talk about a media department. It selects and uses the best media possible to communicate the ad message to the ultimate consumers. The people working in a media department can also fail, as a wrong selection will result in the failure of the advertised product. Preparation of a media plan for its client, media scheduling, supervising the execution, and they also keep a constant contact with the media and the client. So let's have a look at the production department and its function now. The production department produces the final advertisements for the client, making contacts in the industry for carrying out the task, assemble the typography design patterns, engrave photos, illustrations, copy, and prepare the final advertisement, sending the final product to its clients, getting the approval. Once the approval is received, then it can be sent for a final printing or production for the market, keeping them updated about the latest trends and technologies. Now let's talk about a research department. So the pre-testing and the post-testing of the advertising campaign is done by the research department. So their major functions are carrying out the research and deriving out the useful information about the brand, critically analyzing the information which they have derived, apply the results in the different ways that are beneficial to the client. Agency make use of the above information for executing an excellent ad campaign. So now let's talk about a finance department and the blood of any organization. To generate and keep a record of the invoices that the company incurs or gains, sending out the regular reminders to the clients for the uncleared payments, clear accounts before or within the due dates, issue payments to the vendors, parties within or on the due date, keeping a track of the monthly and the yearly accounts, deposit the government fees on time, manage the salary accounts of the employees. So I hope by now you understand the different functions of the departments in the advertising agency. Thank you for all the support and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.